Hey, my
Hello.
girl, my mother, on today as my guest. What
Thank
an
you for
honor.
having me.
It's an honor that you're here. It's a privilege. You know, this podcast is about kind of like the journey through leadership, life, and spirituality.
hmm
And it's interesting how when we say, like, oh, who's like the leaders or role models, so many people go to like CEOs or maybe like gurus, coaches, pastors, preachers. But when you ask those people who's like the number one influence in your life that kind of helped shape you, so many times they say, like, my mother,
hmm
right? It
hmm
is a title that is weighted
Yes, I agree.
and comes with some, I'm sure, accolades and appreciations, and then some, like, probably those gray hairs are due to myself and my siblings. Um, so it's an honor to have you on today, and I've been looking forward to this. Before I even knew that Gathered Glow was going to materialize into something, I had a moment with God, and it was like, okay, God was like, hey, I'm taking you out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You're going to do this. And I'm like, yeah, you sure? And God was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, but what do I do? And how do I do it? And someone told me, like, you just need to pray, like, close your eyes. And have you, like, meditated or just prayed on it? And I was like, not really. I've just been kind of complaining, like, what do I do? Tell me. Give me the clearest answer. So I closed my eyes, and I'm not even kidding. I said it in prayer, and not like 2 seconds later, I was cracking up laughing. And it said, your mom's going to be part of this. And
Wow.
I said, oh, hold on.
Oh boy.
I said, God, you know our relationship. You
Yeah.
know the journey. Part of this, like integrally or like behind the scenes,
Yeah.
supportive part. And it was like, no, part. Like, really. And so I wish you could have seen me laughing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we're here today, and I knew that this isn't probably the last time you'll be on. And I'm so honored and pleased that you are.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It is good to be here and see your journey,
I know.
be a part of it.
Yeah, be a part of it. You're day one of it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about
There
it.
is no one more part of my journey or anyone's journey than their mother.
Yeah.
And so, although I want to talk about like the importance of that relationship, parent and sibling,
Yeah.
I really want to kind of dive into a lot of what you went through, and your journey shapes the next generation, right? The next. And so I want to hear a little bit about your spiritual journey.
Hmm. That's an interesting one to start with. My spiritual journey started as a child in the island of Jamaica with my grandmother. I was raised Catholic, went to a Catholic school. And when I came to America, my mom then started to venture out and going to a Methodist church.
Mm-hmm.
And from a Methodist church, she also did a Baptist church. And then she evolved to more of a evangelical Christian faith.
Okay.
And then as I got older, I became more a part of the evangelical faith and tradition.
Uh-huh.
And I think, as you remember, we went to, I don't want to say the name, but we went to a very conservative Christian home base. Remember that? Yes. Yes.
Don't get me started.
Okay.
Don't get me started
Yeah.
on that.
Okay, but that's part of the journey.
That was another topic.
Right.
One we will need Dr. Phil
Yeah.
for. That
no.
could be a
But
an
let's just
episode
say
in
what the
itself.
journey, has been, right?
yeah.
Okay, so we went to a very, very conservative group.
I want to say we loosely because I did not have a choice. But go ahead.
Okay, so anyway, so over the years, I've done a lot of biblical studies from churches to very home-based studies. And so, I always had questions from a child. I always had questions, even when I was in the Catholic Church. And when I was a child, asking questions to adults about questioning anything in the Bible that you read, you weren't supposed to question what you read. You're supposed to just accept what is taught to you. And I've been walking in a tradition for so many years that I was not allowed to question. And I was always a curious child. I got in trouble sometimes for my curiosity in wanting to know things. So
Yeah.
it was a challenge, growing into my own understanding and my own spiritual growth as a person and how I see God to be
Yeah.
in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was challenging stepping away from some of the tradition I grew up with because I felt that sharing it with friends and with family, being that I was a part of the tradition that I am now questioning, that was not comfortable to my own mother.
Yeah. Which I want to hear more about, how difficult it was to ask questions or even to explore and discover some of the answers in in a personal, intimate way for yourself. Because a spiritual journey it's an individual journey.
Correct.
So the circle around you
Yeah.
may be supportive, may understand,
Yeah.
but as you're elevating or growing,
Yeah.
that circle may not have the resources or capacity to support you in your next step of how you're evolving.
Correct.
I will say, one, I'm so appreciative that you went through maybe having to go through so many different challenges of your beliefs or even asking questions, because my journey is entirely different than yours my whole life. And so I am really grateful because a lot of the things that you dealt with, I did not have to experience.
Right.
Or if I did, not to the same degree.
Correct.
Not in the same way.
Correct.
You did say something. You said two things that I was like, let's talk about. One, you said that your spiritual journey started as a child in Jamaica, but it didn't start there.
No, in essence, it didn't start there. But when we talk about religious order, that's where that started.
Your religious journey started there. But your spiritual journey started long before, and it kind of came back full circle when you said one person in particular that you maybe had the most friction with as you explored your own faith and your own journey.
Yeah.
And who was that?
Mother. My mom. My mom.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, again, tradition is a hard thing to divorce. It's a hard thing for us to step away from because, being that, in the era my mom grew up in and I grew up in part of that era, we were so conditioned to be fearful of God that stepping out of the bounds of asking questions or not living within this biblical thing that we've been taught, that God would be angry, that he'd be jealous, and that possibility that we wouldn't be in his light or in his favor. So it became such a thing that we're so fearful to live because we're in fear of doing or saying something that will make God angry or upset with us.
Yeah.
Even though in our own way, we still did things, but it just depends on what that boundary is that we feel that God, is being challenged here.
Yeah. And at that point, not to say that there aren't some boundaries, right? I think 10 commandments make a lot of
Oh
things
yeah, oh
very
yeah,
clear.
oh yeah.
But I think that at a certain point you understand where's God and where's just man's ego, and trying to instill parameters around people
Right.
that don't liberate them, but shame
Correct.
them, blame them,
Okay.
limit them, right?
Correct. And here was something that my mom and I always used to talk about. I would say to her, Mother, is one Bible, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, out of one Bible, so many different religious orders. We have the Catholic, the Baptist, the Methodist, the Pentecostal, the Church of God, Church in Christ, so many different groups that interpret the Bible in a different way. So I would say to her that there's a different interpretation depending on the level of where someone is.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say that, she would get angry of me saying that,
Yeah.
but
Well, your mama is. This is my grandmother, so I could speak freely until she watches
yeah,
this.
yeah, okay,
I think we have to honor and give some respect. Like I said, what you went through, I didn't have to go through, and what she went through, you didn't have to go through. And so her framework, I think we both can say each generation was exposed to more privilege and opportunity.
yes.
And yeah, she's not the most long pause. Insert
Yeah,
long pause.
yeah, uh-huh,
She's highly educated.
yes,
She is. She's very well studied.
yes,
She comes from a conservative Christian background.
correct,
She's not just a believer, but a pastor and a preacher, and
correct,
has traveled the globe.
yes,
As really like a strong woman of faith
correct,
and strong-minded woman.
yes,
And so if you don't have that same level of intellect in how you articulate even your thoughts or questions,
mm-hmm,
I think it can quickly be difficult for her to engage in a conversation with you. However, she engages in conversations with me, so
yes. Which I find so interesting about, as I've always told you, I find very interesting because the things that you're able to say to Mother and in such a comfortable way, I don't experience that with her. And I don't know if it's the fact that we have a long-standing emotional type of connection in the sense that being that she raised me and she may have felt like, I taught you better or you should know better. And I should maybe in some expectation, I should stay within those bounds that I know when we're talking to each other because, like she knows that how much I've studied the Bible. And and so when you talk to her about other spiritual things outside of the realm of what you have been taught yourself from the Bible and try to take it to another level with her, she listens to you and she, will respond back to you in such a manner that I just find it so interesting because I would never get that response that you would get. And I would never feel that comfortable in relating those things to her to the degree I have to stay within a parameter still when I talk to Mother.
well, I mean, I don't think we anticipate the conversation to go here, but I will say you kind of answered your own question. You've created a cycle where you already go into it not feeling as comfortable, not feeling as solid in what you want to share, coming from an open-hearted place of like, this is just it. I'm not looking to persuade you. I'm not looking to change you. And I'm not looking for you to rebuttal to change me, but I'm open to hearing what you have to say too. And I think when you already say things like, I don't think I'm going to get it, or she won't, or I don't feel as comfortable, I can't go to that degree. It's like the younger child or adolescent in you is still there, like actively in the background of like, we tried it before, it was high risk, we didn't get a good response. So, like, let's not do it again. Let's stay in this. And if you continue to, I think people respond a lot of different levels. And I think energetically, like what you put out there, what you deem in your own self, people respond to too.
I agree. And I also know that when I try to like respond back to some things that mother would say or respond to me, and if I respond back to her in a different way, my mother would say to me, I'm attacking her beliefs in my response.
Yeah, but I think if you know, just like, I mean, there's a lot of people I've apologized to for unintentionally maybe saying something that shook them, offended them. And sometimes when you poke at somebody's belief system, it is frightening. It's scary. It's not
Yeah,
easy,
it's true.
right?
Yeah,
Especially when it's like real deep rooted.
correct.
And I think it's maybe Aristotle. I'm gonna quote, but somebody look up to make sure this is Aristotle. It's like the sign of an intellectual person is their ability to entertain an idea without accepting it.
Yeah,
And I think for a lot of us, we're told that we have to accept something.
correct.
And it's hard to just have a discussion because
Yeah.
as soon as it comes out, we start planting these roots and like, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm going to prove you wrong. It's not a debate. We're not in a courtroom. And I think that you can get to a place with her where you can have better discussions. And I think you've come so far.
We do.
Like you
We
have.
do.
You
Yeah.
have good discussions.
Right.
But I think it's not necessarily her that's blocking it anymore. I think it's still you. A bit. I think that like hesitation you still have in you. Because if I tell someone, "Oh, I think your dress is blue," and they tell me my dress isn't blue, I'm not offended.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay, well, I saw it this way. You told me the color, and maybe I learned something. Maybe
Yeah.
we just agree to disagree. Maybe there was no harm. Like there's not an emotional reaction."
Yeah.
I think when I talk to her, and I think y'all still have a little bit of friction or just past lingering residue from
Yeah.
conversations
Yeah.
over the decades.
Yeah. Yeah.
Grandma did not anticipate being a large part of this topic.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
if we're there, I think we should just continue to go there. I think we kind of talked about your spiritual journey begins before your religious journey. And religion, you start to understand belief systems, you take in information that can guide you, right? But spiritually, we are spirit when we come into form.
Yes.
And so why do you think you chose your mother?
I think I chose her because I needed a certain strength. I did. And I think in ways that, there are things that I can look back over in life as I was growing up with my mother that I was made to do, the house chores, because my mom was a very busy lady. My mom was a nurse back in the day, and she worked a lot of shifts. She was working, to kind of keep things afloat, and so she was gone a lot. And so I was left to do the household chores, which was the cooking and the cleaning, and I had to be the one to do everything. And inside of me, I resented that, only to find out years later, the very thing I resented, I wind up having to do as a mother, was to be at home with 4 kids and having to have the skills to raise my children, to do the cooking, because our finances wasn't, like,
Baller.
yeah. So, I had to do a lot of cooking. I had to take care of 4 kids, and all those things that I did growing up made life a lot easier being a wife and a mother, because I already was prepared for it.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting that the things that you may wind up regretting as a child is actually the thing that Spirit was setting you up for.
I love that. And I don't think we should. I'm not going to hold back what I say, and I don't want you to either.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just like a different perspective, because I agree, like life gives you the things that you need,
Yeah.
even when you don't know you're going to need it.
Correct.
That's very true. But I also think in some ways,
Yeah.
like you saying it was tough, and then I like became this, and then when I got older, I realized I had to keep doing all those things. I also feel maybe part of you internalized wanting a better version of what you had to do as a kid. You wanted that family. You wanted dinners at home.
Yeah.
You wanted those things, but you wanted a happier, better version of it.
Right. Right.
And so I
I would
think
say
like
yes.
it wasn't just like that. Oh, it was hard. And so
Right.
then
Right.
I looked up and I was like, I have to do this. I think
Right.
part of you wanted to recreate a family unit
Right.
that you wanted when you were younger.
Yes. Yes.
And I think that, and when we talk about spiritual journey, so
Yeah.
many people tell me, others, me, things.
Yeah.
And I hear them and I think, you don't even know how you had power to craft your own life.
Yeah.
And sometimes I hear people like write it off as like, oh, this happened or this just came to me. And that does happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are so many other ways where I'm like, you don't even see how you created that.
Yeah.
You continued that. That was the wave, the frequency, the manifestation that you had for yourself.
Right.
Deeply rooted, maybe so close to the mirror that you never saw it coming.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think what's important in that is that, yes, we're given trials and sometimes hardships,
Mm-hmm.
but I never want people to forget how powerful they are
Mm-hmm.
in their spiritual path.
Yes. Yes.
Extremely
Very much.
powerful.
Very much.
Extremely powerful.
Nothing is wasted.
And I really do believe like God is on our side.
Definitely. Definitely.
I really do. And I
Yeah.
think sometimes we get in our own way.
Correct.
And it's like the biggest way I see myself, other people get in our own way isn't that we physically are like standing and stopping, right?
Yeah.
It's how we view something. It's the lens of negativity. It's the lens of, oh gosh, this happened to me, not for me. It's
Right.
the lens of like, and I'm not saying toxic positivity, like
Right.
complain. That's
Right.
not good.
Right.
That's bad.
Right.
But when you start getting a mental like path narrative
Mm-hmm.
of woe is me.
Yeah.
This was so hard.
Right.
This was awful. Some things are really hard.
Right.
But when you create that like consistently,
Yeah.
you kind of are giving away your power.
Yes.
And then you
Yes.
burden yourself.
Right.
And then that spiritual journey, like, then God is like, hey, I want you to have joy. I want you to have peace.
Right.
You're the one burdening yourself.
Correct.
And I've already sent my son. I've died for these sins.
Right.
Lay it down.
Right.
I really do believe that the biggest, now this is going to offend some people.
Yeah.
This will maybe might be controversial,
Mm-hmm.
but for myself,
Mm-hmm.
I think that in my life, the greatest sin that I have actively known that I've like committed
Mm-hmm.
is the stress and worry that I carry.
I totally agree with you.
When it's like, you told me to walk in faith and you've given me this and you've given me this life. And not that,
Totally agree with you.
you know, I'm human, so like normal amount of worry, but the amount of times where I've like white knuckled wanting to control and like anxiety running a marathon,
Yeah.
like on a mission,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it is sad when God said like, believe in me, pray about it,
Yeah.
have faith in it, let it like move, take action, leave it to me.
Yeah. You know, I'm so glad to hear that you are awakened to those facts and understand it. It's only taken me to maybe the age of, what am I, 67 now? To maybe the age of maybe 50 or late 40s to understand all the burden I carried over the years I was doing to myself.
Mm.
Instead of having the faith, instead of, and
There's someone ready to carry them for you, take them away.
so I look now and I see the emotional damage that I brought on myself. And when I was in those situations, I wanted to point the finger at somebody else and blame them for the baggage I'm carrying around on my back. I'm carrying it, but I'm blaming the other person.
No, absolutely. And
So,
you know what? It kind of feels good too.
yes.
It kind of feels good to be like,
Yes.
and you did this,
Right.
and this is your fault.
Right.
And you don't communicate enough, and you
Right.
didn't show up for me in this way,
Correct.
and I needed these
Correct.
things. And like on some surface level,
Yeah.
communicating all that is always necessary because it's another person having a whole nother experience.
Right.
They probably need to know how you feel and why you feel that
Right.
way. But when you know you're just projecting, and how many times have you ever caught yourself where you're like super mad at someone or like
Yeah.
upset about something?
Yeah.
And then later you realize, oh, man, that was my own stuff.
Right.
Enhancing. What
Correct.
was a little spark became a huge flame
Right.
from stuff they don't even have any knowledge of.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Scary, but it kind of feels good in the moment when you're like, mm.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I'm sorry, that's toxic.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. It's so true. So true. Looking back now, you see so many things, especially, in those moments when you're kind of doing, like draw back the curtain and kind of look over the years of things that you've gone through and how you handled it and how you were projecting onto others and just didn't take responsibility for your own actions or for your own part in,
Self-accountability.
Yes.
Self-accountability is not discussed
Yes.
enough.
Yes.
And we have a natural bias to want to justify our own actions and behaviors
Yeah.
as like, well, I did it because of this, or I was right because of this. And it takes a lot of discipline to
Yeah.
hold yourself accountable
Correct.
to the life that you want to create or have.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's variables. It's life. You can't control things outside of your control, but you can control your reaction,
Yes.
the way you decide to move forward,
Yes.
and how you are going to learn and fuel yourself from whatever it is that you did or went through.
Right.
That's easier said than done
Yeah.
when you are in a habit, in
Yes.
the habit, right? There's patterns that you see with people where you're like, yeah, another toxic relationship.
Yeah.
This time
Yeah.
you think it was still them.
Yeah.
At a certain point, you got to maybe pull back the curtain for yourself and ask, like, what's going on? Or
Right.
you got a new job, but you're still in debt.
Right.
What's going on?
Right.
And I mean, like, we all do it, right? Like,
Right.
I have my own cycles where
Yeah.
I want to get in better shape. And I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
here are the reasons why I'm not right now.
Right. Right.
Here's what I went through. Here's my last year.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it goes from truth to an excuse.
Correct. Especially with folks who keep marrying the same person 5 times over and don't realize it's really them that's attracting. Same song, different tune each time.
And isn't it so much easier to see it in another person?
Yeah.
When you're sitting back, you're like, oh,
For sure.
when you have to sit and do the same thing for yourself, you're like,
Right.
but hold on.
Yeah.
I'm different.
Yeah. That's right.
Not me, just
Yeah.
them.
Right. Interesting scripture that says get the log out of your own eye before you reach over to someone else's.
That is one of my favorite ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think about this a lot since I was maybe 23 or 24.
Mm-hmm.
Oftentimes I think, hmm, something will happen and I'll think, there's something in my eye.
Yeah.
Like I can tell, like I want to say it's the other people around me, but I can feel, even if I
Yeah.
can't see it and I don't know exactly what it is yet,
Right.
I can tell that the reaction I'm getting or the circumstance, something of this is stemming from me
Yeah.
and I need to see it. And I
Yes.
need to see it and resolve it as much as I can before I move on from this.
Right.
I'm not meant to stay in this. It's
Correct.
interesting when you feel that feeling, but you don't know yet what to do about it. Like
Yeah.
you're like, I don't know what the log is,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I can feel something's in there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in a spiritual journey, like you said, looking in the mirror, pulling back
Man in the
that
mirror.
curtain,
Mm-hmm.
what are some practices you do to adhere to that?
The one thing that has helped me a lot, gosh, is meditation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Meditation really helped me a lot. And once you start doing meditation,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of, there's different experience each time in your meditation. Sometimes meditation can bring you to a point of self-reflection. Sometimes meditation can bring you into a point of just, I remember once I did this meditation for about 15, 20 minutes, and I was like, just like a sudden hit of just like this joy that just came down on me.
Yeah.
But meditation brought me to a point where judging others doesn't benefit me. So I've learned
Yeah.
to stay on paying attention to what I need to get done, not what you need to get done. And it's hard because there's a part of me, especially my kids will all say this, especially with my kids, you're always looking to still want to put your own opinion in when they're always trying to tell you, okay, mom, you've done your job. Let go. I'm good.
1,000,000%. Please, for everyone out there, send her a message. Tell her to let go. She's done her job. And here's the worst part. I want y'all all to know. The letting go isn't support, like philosophical concern or consideration. If I pulled up my phone right now and showed you, it is 500 YouTube shorts a day, usually around some type of supplement, health, circadian rhythm, sometimes random videos. It's too much. It's too much. Apply it to your own life. Stop it. How to dress, French chic.
Yeah, no. Yeah, so anyway, just that the point of that is, in sometimes you see people and you don't understand their circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, you watch and you see things happening on the news to people.
Yeah.
And it just really is very painful to see what some other folks out there have to go through because our world, would want to put these people in a box and decide for them their lives.
Well, that's a bigger conversation.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Because I think one, we talk about like a uniquely individual spiritual journey, and then
Yeah.
you kind of look, okay, but we're part of a connected community
Yeah.
as a whole.
Yeah.
And it can be really difficult, I think, to balance those two
Yeah.
ideas of like, I can only control what's in me.
Right.
But then so much of what we see hurting our neighbors, our beliefs, it's infuriating and it's
Right.
frustrating. And
Right.
we need to act,
Right.
right? We have to care for our neighbors.
Right.
That is, maybe we need a part 2 on that.
Yeah.
But I do love what you said about meditation.
Yeah.
And your meditation practice
Yeah.
is, I do it more.
Yeah.
less YouTube shorts. Anytime you
Right?
want to send it, just
Yeah.
say, I'm going to take a minute to meditate.
Yeah, right?
No, but I like meditation. And at the beginning of this, you shared about your religious journey and like being Catholic and then evangelical and non-denominational and all the things. Meditation is different than prayer. What would you say the difference is for you?
The difference is meditation is a quietness. It's just quiet time with God and just hearing what comes up and hearing, the things that the divine essence of God flows in and out through you at that moment. So sitting is sitting still and hearing that still voice. So it's receiving from God. Prayer is now a communication of you reaching out and mostly in gratitude, because one of the things on the journey that I've learned, years ago, I used to think that God was up there, is out there. But now I understand spiritually that God is with me and present at all times. He's not going anywhere. So I know that sitting with this presence is important. And then communicating with that presence is important. There's a part of listening, and there's a part of my communicating. So my prayers is my communication. My sitting and meditating is my listening.
I like that. I like that, differentiating the two.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different forms of meditation. I don't think there's a perfect way for anything.
Right.
You got to just try. And for a lot of people, they're comfortable with prayer because we are exposed to it maybe at a younger age. And it's easier because we're requesting, we're talking, right? A lot of times it's a conversation. But when you have to still your mind, that takes practice.
It does.
And if anyone's listening and you haven't meditated, give yourself an opportunity to just practice it. Don't judge it. Even if it's just, you're like, nothing came up. I was just quiet. My mind was just quiet for a few minutes. There's a lot of power in just being still with your mind. I mean, there's so many research that shows the benefits in every way, right? For your own wellness,
Correct.
for your relationships, for
sleeping.
All the things. If you have really any desire to try it, I would just be gentle with yourself. And it looks different for everyone. The way you meditate and what you experience is not what I experience.
Right.
Mine's trippy.
No,
Mine is.
No, I think it's every meditation is a different experience. It's every time I meditate, it's a different experience.
Yeah.
Because different things come up.
Yeah. And it's different. I feel like when you do it more and more, it's quicker and quicker to get to certain states in meditation.
Yes. Yes.
Well, hey, you know what?
Yeah.
That's a pretty good conversation, huh?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for
Sheely.
inviting me.
Hey, we got more to cover. My mother, my day one, I appreciate you and I love you.
Thank you.
And I am who I am because you're crazy. And your love and your nurture and your wisdom. So thank you so much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you. Thanks for being on. And thank you all for tuning in and listening to this episode of Gathered Glow. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.